Irash, I must say. Welcome back to Nappy Cat. We're so glad that you can join us today. Well, it turns out that there's certain kitties who've actually had paid positions for quite some time and quite some years. There was a really famous kitty who was called Tibbs the Great. He was a beautiful big ginger, and his weight of a heavy kitty, 23 pounds, is proof that he made it and that must have supported him all those years. So, Tibbs the Great was born in November of 1950 and stayed there until December of 1964. He was called the #1 cat of the British Post Office. He worked in the main building in London, England, and he kept the mice away. He was a great mouser. He was the son of another post office mouser called Minnie, who had been a part of the church that was very close by called the Church of St. Martin's of England. And those guys basically officially had owned Minnie, but she had become a big giant mouser in the post office. Yes. So he kept the post office headquarters completely mouse-free. That 23-pound-year-old ginger was very good at his job. He got to be so famous that there were several newspapers that ran his obituary. He also became part of a book that was called Cockney Cats by Warren Tutt. The British Post Office is very interesting because they had been employing cats to be mousers since September of 1868. At that point, there were 3 cats that were allowed a 6-month trial period, and they did so good that they kept them on. They paid them 1 shilling per week in the London Money Order Office. That's where they had originally started. Yes, but they got really popular and were spread to other post offices. By 1873, the kitties were being paid 1 shilling 6, and other post offices were doing exactly that same thing. By the time that Tibbs had come around, he was paid 2 shillings 6 per week. He worked in their basement as a mouser and did a really good job. He was cared for by Alf Talbot, he was the cleaner from the Church of St. Martin's in England. And in the year 1952, there was a public outrage that the cats had no pay raises since the 1873 date. My goodness! Yes, they wanted enough to be able to pay for their food and for their health. And the post office was saying, well, we've had no complaints. Well, they were kitties, so of course they wouldn't complain. Yes. Yes. So this is one of those awesome places where there's been multiple generations of cats who've done that. And unfortunately, after Tibbs' life, they basically quit that position. People started buying the pesticides and stuff. Yeah, he's a pretty good cloth mouser. Neffy brings the cloth mice over to be by and brings them for the mommy to play with. It's very fun. Yes. I don't know if he's ever tried his paws at any actual mice, but I'm quite content with cloth ones. Well, thank you all so much for watching this video today. If you like the content of our videos, don't forget to dig those paws and paw that like button. You can paw the subscription button and you can paw the notification bell where you can see all of Nappy Cat's videos. Yes, a cute little wink. Yes. Well, thank you all so very much. And we look forward to seeing